So the other thing I'm doing is getting rid of the SLS system, which is the self-leveling suspension for the rear of the car. There we go, that's the SLS suspension off the rear of the car. For any of you who want that, give me a shout. I won't be using it, it's just extra weight for me. So that's looking a bit cleaner. Now I'm just going to loop that valve over there around. So there's those two pipes I've taken off there. They are standard brake fitting, some of these. So I'm just going to have a bit of pipe that loops around later when I can be bothered to look at the diagram. This is actually what I did on my old car, and it was absolutely fine. Had that car for over 5 years. Yeah, when I have a look at the diagram, I might have a look at taking the pipes out further along the car, where they originate from, probably near the reservoir somewhere, or the pump, I would have thought. I'm also going to look at getting a different differential in here, which won't need this pipe, so I can get rid of the pump completely that sits at the front of the engine, which is this. So this isn't actually too bad to take apart and just reseal if you ever needed to do that, but you can see the lines going down there, and I think they go into this passenger driver side footwell, and the fluid comes back in here as well, and there's the reservoir for the actual hydraulic fluid. So some good progress, just gotta continue. Lower bushing in. That tool was absolute crap. It literally lasted for one use. All of the bearings came out and it's even bent, even though it's supposed to be hardened steel. Anyway, a couple of things left to do on this. I've got to remove this one. The bolt, I've tried to smack it, doesn't seem to come out. The other two that need to come out, there's one there, and that's like a 10-point type spline type thing, which I'm going to try to remove. All of the arms are ready to go on. I've got the Polybushes in. These are new Lemforder arms. As soon as the last few arms come off, I can I suppose almost have this ready to go back on, really. All the Polybushes are in. I've painted the bits I wanted, including the subframe. Not a great job, but I'll do it for now. I might just drop the subframe again once I've got it on the road after a while. When I do the diff, then I'll probably do new drive shafts as well at the same time, and take a look at the hubs see if the bearings need doing. But other than that, everything will be, well, refreshed at least. Fitted by an amateur, so it'll probably fall apart because I've done it. But I've got that thing looped as well. I might just lock that little lever in place. I think it needs to be... I think it's down, which will stop it from... Alright, well, let's try it. So if it goes up, yeah, if the anti-roll bar goes up, it means the car's loaded, so it'll pull more fluid into the shocks. But if I leave it locked down, that little lever, some way, it'll mean I won't even try to fill the shocks with any extra fluid. Alright, this is painted, looking okay. I can get my new suspension in. I've got some Yellow Speed Racing Club Performance, I think it is. It's the one that's got a bit more adjustability for track purposes, and it's got camber plates on the front as well. I can get that shock in at least, and I've got a couple more bushes to remove. Bushes are always fun. So I got these powder coated. I've just got to remove these two bushes on both of them, and then I can slide in some new fresh Polybushes. There's the suspension, there's the steering wheel, gear gator, steering wheel boss, gear knob, operated metal anti-roll bar links for the rear. So this is off a W124 wagon, so like the E-Class. And then I've got the seat rails, and I've even got some seats ready to go on as well. I will reveal those in a bit once I'm ready, I think, to start tidying up the interior. But yeah, this isn't far off from, well, fingers crossed, not far from going back in onto the car. Should be good because I can actually stick some wheels on it and get it back on the ground. Right, progress. I've got these bushes in, and I did say I'd break stuff, and you can see that's what cars do to you. So those are in. I've brought some reinforcements to try potentially cut out these final few stubborn arms where the bolt is not moving. Almost potentially ready to start bolting all of these up. Hopefully get it closer to the car. Not bad progress. So new bush, new arms. All of the arms are in there with the bolts. They just need tightening up, and I think we're almost ready to get it towards the car. Oh, I'm probably going to stick in the spring perches for the suspension. That's where the adjustable bases sit, and they just need to be screwed in there. So these are the rear shocks, rear springs, and looks like front springs too. This is the Yellow Speed Racing Club Performance Kit. It has these external canisters for better heat dissipation. I think dampening's on there, and rebound is on top of the shock. So you can see there's a little Allen key fitting, which I think comes in the kit somewhere. I'm gonna get these spring perches fitted before I stick the subframe in. Some good progress today. Probably doesn't look like it because, I mean, it doesn't look much different to what it was previously, but all the arms are on, everything's tightened up, and should be ready to get onto the car. This is my uprated anti-roll bar, and on the Mercedes 190 many of the upgrades are actually from other cars. So this is from a 500 SL from the 90s. Got the battery charger on. Battery might be dead. With these multiple lockdowns, I haven't had the chance to come down here and work on it. This, as you probably gathered, is never going to be a showstopper. Yeah, this wing's still got some rust, it's got some lacquer peel, and plenty of other little things wrong with it, but I'm not bothered. I'm going to use it as much as I can, which is the point. Which is probably the reason I actually sold my other one, because I was worried about adding too much mileage to it. No steering wheel. This car's on about 170,000 miles, so not exactly low mileage either. And you can see what a mess I've made so far. Just moving the wiring out the way for welding the floor and sill, and rear arches, boot floor, a lot of welding. Anyway, hopefully it looks okay, which is all I want. Right, time to get this sucker back in. Got the spring perches in, but I've realised I don't have the spring pad rubbers that sit on the chassis side in there. So I'm going to have to order some of those. I'm also going to get some new low control arm bolts, as I'm not sure whether these are the right ones. I think I've lost one somewhere. Everything is bolted up. So this is the point that I realise I have to drop it again because I've missed something. I've already had to drop it once, The prop shaft does line up, so I need to get that bolted up. I need to tighten up this fuel hose. What else is there? I don't think there's anything else. We're obviously missing springs, as I mentioned. I'm going to wait and get some new spring pads. Next job, get the shocks bolted in, so that's ready to go. And get these operated anti-roll bar links in. So this is the original that comes on the car, and as you can see it's plastic or some sort of composite. And these are from a W124 wagon, or estate. And all you have to do on these to get them to fit is trim a tiny bit here and on the other side to fit the lower control arm on the back, so they actually fit. I've got this in the way, but they fit into one of those holes there on the lower control arm, and the top obviously goes to the anti-roll bar, which is just there. Right, next job, cutting the new anti-roll bar link down to size. And you can see, I hold it up correctly. Is it going to focus? There. Okay, that's the original. That's the new one. So you can see it needs slightly trimming. And that's it. So there they are. Nice and easy little upgrade, and pretty inexpensive. I think about £15 for both arms. I've only left them in finger tight at the moment because I've still got to slide in the springs once I've got the spring pads. Next job on the list, getting new handbrake shoes in here, and then get the calipers on here, get the brakes bled. Then I might actually be able to stick the wheels back on. Right, brake shoes here. Lots of little metal bits in the actual shoes. So there's nothing all on here at the moment. I've stuck on the little, I don't know what the hell to call it, this bit. Shoes on. They are fiddly. I made a makeshift tool using a tie clip and some mole grips, and I basically clamped onto the tie clip, which was fed through the middle of the spring, not the hook part, for this, I don't know if you can see it, this bottom fiddly spring. That worked quite well. Now I'm just gonna get this bit cleaned up, stick the discs back on, stick the calipers back on here, and maybe think about bleeding the brakes. But making good progress. Both sides are looking good. There it is, that's my 190E project, which is taking its fair bit of time. and as I mentioned, it's never going to be the best example, which is why I'm completely stripping it out and doing whatever the hell I like with it. So, and this pretty much sums up how the project's going. This axle stand's been here for a while, and as you can see, there's a nice little plant going through it. Alright, it's got plenty of marks, battle scars from whenever, and I'm probably going to keep most of those because I want to use this as often as I can and do some long road trips in it. I've tried charging the battery and I think that's dead, so that's another thing to add to the list, which was already long. I've managed to get it down a fair bit, so didn't get the chance to touch the interior, but the whole rear end is all sorted. Just got springs to stick in, and that's it. Until next time.